We are now in the 6th greatest extinction event in the history of Earth, this time caused by humans. And I'm talking about runaway events in climate and biodiversity. You know, 1 million species at least now are made extinct, and without diversity you're not going to have a stable functioning organism, Earth organism. So it's getting pretty alarming, the destabilisation of those systems.
Well, agriculture for the last 100 years, you could say, has been focusing towards what we call the green revolution. That is, how do we reduce as much as we can by putting as much as we can into the soil or into the process of reducing food and fibre. Now that sounds good, and it's been very good for an improvement in standard of living, but there's been outcomes which have done damage to the environment in particular. And what has happened is there's been a total devotion to reductionist science, to how to look after the parts but not look after the whole.
Inherent in any big natural complex adaptive system is a capacity to self-organise, self-heal, get back to greater complexity, stability and health. And they do that by choosing solutions that reside within the system, which are called emergent properties.
There are basically two types of systems, I think, that human beings can relate to. One is where they dominate the system and they make sure that all that happens within their control performs to what they intend. The other form of the system is where the farmer or the person sees themselves as part of the web of life, integrated within the web of life. And they have an understanding that what they do has an impact on so many other things. And what regenerative agriculture does, it takes a different perspective. It turns it all upside down and it makes us look at the whole as well as looking at the part. So we see a different type of agriculture emerging, one that I think we need to see based on all that's happening around the world at the moment.
Farmers are very deep thinkers and farmers are observers. So they know their landscapes better than anyone. They are attached to it as a start, and they can see changes. They can see something's not right, or, you know, what is wrong with this picture, and they will look and question and lie awake at night until they work that out. So they are the best researchers we have. They are applied researchers, so they are constantly changing the way they farm to get a better outcome.
This is why regenerative agriculture, for me, provides a lot of hope in that we can start to balance not only our production levels, but we can start to rebuild the ecosystems, and we can look after social well-being and the communities that are supported by our agricultural systems.
Southern Cross University is leading the way in this new approach to thinking about agriculture. And what more, they're thinking about it in a holistic term, about functioning of systems and how that is most needed in the way in which we do business on the farm.